The lighting I will be using in the wet room, which is the shower toilet area, is LED strip lights. So I already have a light in there. It's a touch sensitive dimmable light, and I'd like some extra light. You can set it to different colors, which is going to be cool. The way this works is this plugs in to this section, and then you plug this into the wall in your house. But obviously, because I'm going to be using mainly DC power in the van, what I think I'm going to do, and I hope it works, is cut off this end, then connect that to my 2-core cable that's running to the leisure batteries, and then I should be able to run this somewhere in the van, maybe on the inside of the bathroom, just over the door, where it won't get wet. So I'm going to test it now. So you plug this in here like that, and then connect that to here. Then there we go. LED light is plugged in the wall, and now I have connected it to the plug, that connection, and this is the receiver for the remote. So it's all working, and then the remote. So you can turn it on and off here with this, or else you should be able to turn it on and off with that. Maybe if I plug out this, there we go, and then there we go. I've cut the cable, the plug from the cable. I've left this, and it runs into the actual LED strip. So now what I'm going to do is secure the LED strip to the roof here. I'd like to place this on the front here. So say here in the panel, I'll try and cut out a section where you can actually then turn on the LED light. So if I run the cable down from the roof down here. I have the LED strip now connected to the ceiling in the shower / toilet wet room. This is the connection I've held onto because it's got the sensor for the remote control if I do want to use a remote control, but it's also got these buttons. So it's got 3 different switches. It's got an on and off switch, it's a change color switch, and it's got a brightness switch. So it's a dimmer. So it's 3 in 1. So I'm going to try and integrate this into the wall of the outside of the bathroom. This cable I've also held onto, so that means that I can connect this in here like that, and then run this cable through the wall. So I'm just going to do a quick test to see if it's working, and the way I'm going to connect it to the 12-volt cable is I'm going to use these connectors. They're an easy and quick way of connecting cables. So the way they work is take them like that, and then you lift up each section, and that means that it's got 2. That one can take 2 cables. You can get them all different sizes. You can get ones, they come in 3, 33 and a third. There's one there, 3, and then there's even a bigger one. This one has cables on it already because I actually took this out of the van, so they use these in the van. And that's the very first time I actually ever came across these, was when I took them out of the van. And then I saw someone using them online. They're a bit more expensive than regular wire connectors, but they're definitely the best option with regards not having to mess around with the cable. Okay, so what I'm going to do is what you do is you take one and then you put the red cable, so that's going to be you take the red cable and you put that into one of them, and because this is so skinny, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually twist it at the end. Then you slide that in there just like that, and then you close it down, so that now that's locked in. Then you take the other one, and what you do is you so then you take the black one, you take the black cable, which is this one, and then you get the other connector, and you then, what you want to do is twist the end of it and then bend the end of it, and then you want to stick that into the other connector. So you have two connectors, one is red and one is for the black cables, and then you close that down. Alright, this is the cable running from my leisure battery, and I'm going to strip the wires. What I'm going to do is just twist the end like that, so that has a, like that, so it's looking like that. It just gives more wire to clamp down on when you put it into the connector, and do the same with the black, and then you end up like that. Alright, now what you do is you go back to this, and then what you want to do is you put the red into the red connector, which is this one. You place that in there. So you have to pop up this first. There you go. Then you want to place that in there. Then do the same with the black. And that's the two connections. This one has the red from the LED strip going into it, and then the red from your 2-core cable running from the leisure batteries in the back of the van all the ways up to here. So I just ran them along the side of the van, and this other one has the black cable from the LED strip, this one, and then the black cable from the 2-core cable. So now I'm going to go to the back of the van and connect the 2-core cable up to the fuse box, which is connected to the leisure batteries, and then see if we've got this thing working. So this is what I'm using for the 2-core, and that's Sophia in the background shouting her head off because she's stuck out the back and she's not happy. This is how I'm crimping them with this tool here. I don't know if it's the right tool, but I think it is, and I use this for stripping the cables. You can't actually do it without that, you need it. I also use this to strip the wire, but it's just a manual one. This automatically will detect the gauge of the wire and it will just cut it, stripping only the cable, and it will leave the copper wire. Whereas this one has set gauges, it has numbers beside them, so you have to select the correct number and then use that. And then up here it's got your crimping section for smaller wire. And then for the bigger cables, what I use is this crimping tool, which is a really useful tool for crimping. Okay, so now that I have these two cables crimped, connected, terminals connected and crimped, I'm going to hook it up to the fuse box and hopefully get this get the lights working. So that's now hooked up. Now I'm going to go up to the front. Oh yeah, I got to switch on this. This is the isolator switch. This is to isolate the power coming from the batteries into the fuse box. So basically I will have the ability to cut off everything in the van, power it off just by switching this on and off. This is the moment of truth. Have we power? Red lights on. So there's nothing happening for some reason. The reason it wouldn't work is because you see the red light. The red light means it needs a fuse. I thought that the one above it was the one we were hooked into, but it's not, so I'm going to take out that fuse. You see the red light? As soon as you put the fuse in, that red light will disappear. There you go. And now if you look to the front of the van, we have the LED lights. So that means that we now have LED lights in the bathroom. Oop. So that's the LED lights there, look. So that means that that's all working, and here's the switch. So what we can do is we can switch it on and off just there. So the idea is instead of cutting that and using just a two-pronged switch, on and off switch, I was thinking why not just keep onto this when it's got all these functions. And I'm going to run it down through, I'm going to run it down from up there through the studding and then pop it out somewhere around there on the wall, and then have that as the switch. That is how you install LEDs onto the roof of your bathroom. And then you can also change the colors, and then you can increase or decrease the brightness. See?